for Thursday, August 11th, show number 243.
Scott, we always try to be inclusive on this show. What if somebody's listening that's not a race fan? Can't we welcome them too?
I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
That's a good question. They
I
might be just bored out of their mind. Well, even race fans might be bored out of their mind, but, you know.
I know we've got some great listeners in India
and Australia, too.
Yeah.
Real ones in Australia.
Most of the Australians are motorsports fans.
Yeah. Anyway, coming at you live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Tonight on the show, we should be speaking with Craig Mintz. He should be joining us anytime now. 410 Sprint Car Racer. We've had him on the show before, back when we were in the iHeart Studios, and he's found his way back to Victory Lane 2 weeks in a row at Fremont. So looking forward to talking to him.
Didn't he sponsor our show for a brief
Real
moment too?
Real Geese decoys. Yeah. So looking forward to talking to him. He's a busy guy though too. He's got a meeting, I guess, at 7:30. So we got to kind of.
Well, he'd better get his butt in here.
Yes. Also, a little bit later on tonight, you definitely want to check out our weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman. He's back. It's been about a month since we've had him on from Channel 11. So, interesting forecast for this weekend. That's all I'll say. That's your spoiler alert. Big D's Pizza, subs, ribs, chicken, and more in Clyde, Ohio. Give them a call right now, 419-547-1444, or order online at orderbigdspizza.com. They now have pizza logs, stuffed with pepperoni, cheese, and sauce.
Ooh. If you see Dean check in, make sure he knows that I've picked out a spot for him in Lambertville, Michigan, where he could locate a satellite store.
Where's that?
Just around the corner from my place.
Okay. Right there, like at Stearns and
Stearns
Whiteford?
and actually Stearns and Secor.
I bet you this is probably Mr. Mintz. Shall we go right to him?
Let's
right in the middle of our commercial? All right. Hammer Down Racing Report.
Hi, Scott. Craig Mintz calling.
Hey, Craig. How are you?
Good. Sorry, the data around here isn't the greatest.
No worries. Well, we were a little worried there for a minute when we didn't see you pop on, but thanks for joining us. I know you said you had a meeting at 7:30, so we'll try and not waste too much of your time.
Oh, yeah, we got plenty of time. We'll be good.
Okay. First off, I want to say congratulations on wins the past 2 weekends there at Fremont.
Thank you. Yeah, we were blessed with some good starting positions, and we're kind of track position there is really key, just because it's so tight and small, and in certain cases tough to pass. But we were able to pass some cars and be able to lead some laps, and we've made some changes to the race cars over the past 2 or 3 weeks, and we've seen a vast improvement, obviously, but gotten me a little bit more comfortable, which is always a good thing.
I know I ask this question all the time, and usually racers are reluctant to share, but what changes can you share that you've made to the car that's helped it out?
We changed a little bit of our shock package. We didn't change, the actual shock itself as far as, the brand or anything like that. We're still with Linder Speed Equipment on their shock. But we went with just a little bit different of numbers that you wouldn't normally think of. We also changed some of our, basically spring rubbers that are in there in the thickness and the hardness of each one.
Boy,
so being able to...
Craig, you're sounding awfully NASCAR-ish with that technology.
Yeah, I know, but if it helps me win races, I'll put as much spring rubber in it as I need to.
Absolutely. Now, on a sprint car,
yeah, nothing to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
On a sprint car, do you put the spring rubber on the left side?
Well, we have one on our left rear, and then we have a one on the right front.
Okay.
So that was one of our biggest changes is putting it on the right front to help it on entrance, so it's not coming off the left rear and jumping on the right front, causing it to be severely tight. So keeping it off that has made me really, really comfortable. And I've been battling it for probably 4 or 5 years. And it was something that we never really thought of because that's not something normal teams have done. So We hired a new guy, or the guy's come along with this year, and he's like, well, let's try it. What do we got to lose? And we tried it on a weekend prior to these last 2 wins, and we really liked it. So we've just continued to kind of stick with it and move on.
Now, do you share any of your setup advice to other racers?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not, besides that, that rubber on the right front. I mean, it's not. Our setups are not tricks. They're not, just something that, you would look at each other and go, yeah, that's crazy. We have a solid base each night that we go to the racetrack with every weekend with the exact same setup with, going there. That way we know our base is always consistent. So, but I've had guys come down and ask, and I'm open and honest with them because, there's nothing secret. There's nothing that, we have on our car that you can't get or something that, we have on that we're doing that you would never do. So I think that getting a balance of a race car right now is so crucial for speed that sometimes it's overlooked. Some people are trying to hit that home run and trying to swing for the fences, and we're more of we'll get 4 singles and get the same result.
I know even with the trucks down at Fremont, there's a lot of things that we're doing now that weren't even thought of a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and that's similar, over a course of periods of time. But with the sprint cars, we've kind of just gotten a cookie cutter scenario to where, everything is available. Now you can go out and spend, they're starting to get these titanium working arms, which are outrageously expensive. And in my personal opinion, they should be banned just because of the cost. But the deflection of the titanium is different than what our aluminum ones are or our steel. So they say it gives you a truer reading on the arms and on the bar and the actual ratio of that. So, there's a lot of things like that you can go out and buy, but, our car is a standard car. It's not, anything different. The only thing different is, we run a GF1 that was built in 2017. Something that I was comfortable with back then. And then the passing of George Fisher, that whole program kind of went away. And then the ability to get sprint cars this off season for new ones. I ordered a race car, from a company, in September to the start of October, the last week of September. I got it 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Gotta love the supply chain.
So yeah, it was kind of a mess. So I had to kind of be creative and went on kind of social media and found some of these cars that basically were barn finds and sitting in the barns. And so we're not even on 2021 cars. We're on 2017 stuff as far as frameworks. But, I've always said that, a lot of people have to go with one or have to go with another. And for me, it's whatever that I'm comfortable with. No matter the year, if it's still working and still winning your races, it don't matter at the end of the day.
Well, and you know how to win championships. You have 3 championships there at Fremont, 2010, 12, and 18, and a couple in the early 20-teens, 2012, 2013 at Attica.
Yep.
Second in points at Fremont behind Cole Macedo. How confident are you in maybe picking up a 4th championship?
I wouldn't say confident. It's a deal that we're confident that we can compete with him. We got off to a really slow start at Fremont. Our first couple nights we weren't very competitive. We weren't contending for wins, and Cole is contending for wins each night. Now the past couple nights, last 3 weekends, I think we've beat him and have gained points. But with Fremont, their point system is very difficult to gain points and start clawing back. There is a deal, every night every time you touch the racetrack, you have an opportunity to gain points. But what it does is you can win the feature and the guy runs second or third and still lose points to the guy. So, because of the reward points for qualifying, they reward points for how you finished in the heat race. So there's some times that, oh man, I just won the race, but DJ ran second. Oh, well, or Cole ran second. Well, I still lost points to it. So, you got to really, be on your game and understanding that, you have to beat them at every aspect, and beating that Cito kid at this point is really difficult, in how hot they are, and with how good the Linders have got that team rolling.
Do you find that point system frustrating, that you have to be on it every time you touch the track?
No, I mean, I really like it. I love the heat race aspect of it. I don't think I like the qualifying aspect of it because, I've expressed my frustration with that, meaning, we don't line up our features or our heat races based off of the overall qualifying. We do that per group. And we did that because the racetrack is falling off so fast from the first qualifier to the last qualifier, which I get them 100% points for the championship based off the same thing, where we just said it's not fair, but we still require points for it. So I know it's something that I have spoken and been outspoken to the Fremont Speedway, and they have said that they were going to look at it in the off season. Which is blessings to them because they're listening to drivers who may have a legitimate gripe about something. Now, it does make things interesting because right now there's no reward for sandbagging. I mean, because if you're quick time, the overall 2 quickest guys, as long as you finish in the top 5 of your heat race, you're transferred in. So, but before the kind of format we've had, you can kind of sandbag and be that 10th, 11th, 12th. Start on the front row of your heat race, win your heat race, and you had a legitimate shot of starting on the pole, where the guy that was quick time, started 4th or 5th, had to run 1st or 2nd. It was very difficult. So I think that's kind of why they did that. But we've changed rules since this was implemented, and I think it's, time to evolve, with it. But I love the aspect of making us race in the heat race. Each spot is worth a point, and I like that because in many cases, sometimes drivers can get into that. Well, I'm good enough with second, just going to kind of sit here and ride when, they overall could have won the heat race and put on a better show for the fans. I mean, that's overall why we're there anyway. And I think that needs to be, looked at as well.
Let's go back to that redraw real quick. The 2 quick qualifiers, as long as they finish in the top 5, they are involved in the redraw too, aren't they?
That is correct. So that's why they've done that because before that was not the case. That was never really a thing. If you were quick time, you just started 4th in your heat. You had to run 1st or 2nd. Now, you can run 5th and still be in the redraw. So, but beforehand, there was guys that, they wouldn't give everything they had during qualifying because they know if they ended up 10th, 11th, 12th, they would start on the front row. Because if you inverted 4 and you had 3 heats, if you qualify 12th, you start pole the first heat.
Right.
And then every heat. So there was a lot of times you could, you didn't know it and you couldn't, really for sure say it, but there was a lot of times, a lot of guys, when they all started to come around, they would qualify really well. But on a local show, they'd be 10th, 11th, and 12th every night.
Amazing, huh?
Does Attica do the points the same way?
No, Attica does not reward points for any.
You still there?
But I'm pretty.
Still there? Yeah, you broke up a little bit there. You said Attica.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Attica does not do that. They only reward points for just the feature time.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a month ago by now, you offered up one of your cars to Brian Smith, did you not?
Yes.
What was that all about? I saw he did something bad to his car.
Yeah, he got upside down Friday night at Attica, and I at the shop, and I felt that the guy he works his tail off with a limited budget, and I hate seeing guys that put forth the effort, are good on equipment, are good guys down to earth, and just sitting there. I felt like, our guys in times were, driving out of the racetrack and seeing him standing there at the end of the car looking at a torn up race car, knowing he wasn't going to race tomorrow. And we just offered up a car and said, hey, if you want to go racing tomorrow, the car's at our shop, come get it, put your engine in it, go race. So, it worked out. There were some things that, had to be changed as far as the parts and stuff, but, it was a very seamless transition. Brian, took care of the equipment for us. It allowed another competitor to race and continue to do what he loves doing, and especially with his family. I mean, that's a husband and wife and kid operation. That's it's all they do is work on it. So it was fun to be able to do that. We were honored that Brian took us up on that, and it worked out.
Is your backup car back home now?
Yeah, so our backup car is back home. Brian brought it home last week, and he's got his car, I think, almost back together or back together. The next AFCS race isn't for another couple of weeks. So when we kind of put this deal together, that was the main thing, is to get through that little part of it, and then we would be all right. And we did, and and he actually beat me one of the nights with my backup car.
I saw that.
Yep.
Did he apologize?
No, I told him that. It was one of the first nights he went racing. I could tell he wasn't running it as hard as he would if it was his car. And I kind of nicely went down there and I said, Brian, I didn't give you this car, for you to run last and just to ginger this and be afraid of tearing up equipment. I said, I gave you this race car knowing that I could get it back in pieces. Go race it. It's designed to be raced, not to, be afraid of it. It's something I've always told my drivers when Carson was in my car, or Christopher Bell, or those guys when my dad and I really got into it and was owning a lot of stuff. We always tell those guys that, we hired you to win races, and it's our job to get you the equipment to go win those races.
Brian's definitely good people, and good to see you offering him up a ride. You're a very busy person. You coach girls basketball. You have a print shop. How'd the girls basketball team do last year?
We went 11-11, which doesn't sound for a lot of teams a very good season. But we've only, and I think I can't tell you the amount of years. I want to say it's 30 to 40 years of existence. Actually, it's probably a little longer than that. We've only won as Fostoria is like 200 games. So the last year's win ratio was the last like 5 or 6 years up until that point combined. So we've won a lot of games. We have a really good incoming freshman group of last year, which will be now sophomores. We were 4-0 and then got COVID, had to sit out almost 12 days, came back, played 5 games in like 14 days, lost those because we basically had 0 practice. We had COVID again, was out another 12 or 13 days, and then came back and had rapid fire games. We were at game 9 when many teams were on game 15 or 16. So our everything, we were dealt the wrong cards at the wrong time, but we played with them. Just like I told them, sometimes life isn't fair. And we learned a lot of, as a group, a lot of, personal things that they can take into them, after basketball, that sometimes life isn't fair, but we made it through it. I think we were stronger as a group at the end of the season, because we ended up the season winning 7 of the last 8 games.
Congratulations on that.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
That doesn't keep you from working on your car in the off season, does it?
No, it's kind of a break. It's nice because basketball season starts the last week of October, which is normally right when racing season ends. And then basketball season ends right at the first week of March. So it's kind of a blessing that they kind of don't really overlap a ton. They do in the summer with a lot of work, and they do come fall and stuff. And then during the winter, getting preps of cars. But my crew is amazing in understanding that, that I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy coaching basketball. I really enjoyed, Fostoria High School. So it's something that they know that, but there's times I'll get out and stop just as, much as the normal person. It's just, I do it periodically, and our crew is very good at, our schedules on our 4 or 5 guys that we have are never, synced up very well. Some people work longer hours, some people don't, some people go in early, but we got a passcode on our, basically our door that anybody can access. And then we have on each car, we have a to-do list and what's done list, and then check marked, and then, wrote down who did it. That way, we're not double overlapping one another. And we've learned, and it's a system that's really worked well for us.
Very organized.
Yeah.
How much time we got left here before you got to get going?
I got about 5 minutes.
All right. Future plans. What's in the future for Craig Mintz and racing 410 sprints? Do you foresee doing this for the foreseeable future, or?
I mean, I'm gonna do it. I think I made a commitment this year to go after the Fremont Speedway Championship. I did that for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to, I had some people tell me that I've kind of gotten older and I've lost a little bit of touch with it. But the other one
don't tell that to Ron.
Yeah, that kind of, yeah, that bugged me a little bit. And my other one was, you know what, Johnny Oxter, I've got a lot of ties with him, and I really look up to Johnny. He is the 50th anniversary of that, and they give a trophy away where that gentleman, hands it to the new champion. And I've done that with Darrell Harrison and some guys that it's a really cool deal. And it's something that it's done, hopefully if we keep continuing to do what we do and we're blessed to be able to win the championship, I'm able to do that with Johnny. So that one kind of hit a little closer to home to be able to do that and try it. I would say the next couple of years, I'm not going to race consistently where we're chasing after points. I think I've passed that in my career. I want to go and go, I got a camper now and I want to do those kind of things with my family, but I know my family loves racing. So we talked about maybe in the next couple of years, if, we want to go out to Knoxville or we want to go out to Port Royal or places that, I've never been, we can load up the camper on Friday night, drive out there, race, and then come home Sunday, and still enjoy family time. Because my kids are getting a little older, and it's time that, I kind of enjoy that, moment with them.
Are they into racing as well?
My youngest is my middle child is more of a cheerleader, gonna be that kind of girly girl. Still likes going to the races, but if she had her pick, she would rather be at dance class or some kind of gymnastics thing.
Gotcha. Oh, any sponsors? I know there's at least one. Maybe you need to plug here.
Well, yeah, thanks, Real Geese Decoys, Modern Woodmen of American, KS Sales and Service. We've been blessed to have some guys, come along and there are a lot of silent partners to be able to say, hey, here's some money to be able to go do this and have fun. Woodville Mutual's been, a guy that came in and just said, hey, help, here's a little bit of help. So, I'm blessed to have all those guys, Kistler's, building a heck of an engine, Linder Speed Equipment. They provide us with a lot of parts and a lot of things that may help us, go fast and build it the way we want it. So it's been a blessing and I enjoy it. My wife, she's my backbone with a lot of things that she does throughout the week to help me go and takes care of the kids on the weekends. We go racing, and my dad and Chris and Rich, the guys that work on the race car, those guys busting their butt every night. I definitely appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, good luck Saturday. I almost said Friday. Good luck at Fremont on Saturday. Try and make it 3 in a row.
I will do that, and I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You know the deal on our guests, so I'm not going to belabor that point. But you're going to have a spectacular Saturday.
I hope so, and that would be a great 3 nights or 3 weekends in a row.
All right. We'll get to your meeting, and we appreciate the time, Craig.
Hey, no problem. Take care.
Thanks,
you
Craig.
Too. There you go, Craig Mintz. Second in point. Don't know that they've updated the points on the website. I think it's still from. Wait, what is today? Yeah,
Today's
the week before. I don't think they've updated it since last weekend, and he was, I think, it was 51 points behind Cole Macedo. So he's probably closed it a little bit with the win last week, depending on where everybody finished in the features or the heats and how they qualified and all that fun stuff too. So, anywho. Coming up a little bit, chance to win a Big D's pizza. For how many? We got a little bit of a simpler one this week. Yeah.
Oh,
a little bit, not too simple.
I like those challenging
This
ones.
one's challenging, but it's a simple challenge. Check out the new Dominator pit kit from Dominator Race Products at dominatorraceproducts.com. Has all the hardware you may need for body repairs. They also specialize in other body components for late models, sprint cars, street stocks, and much more. dominatorraceproducts.com or call 419-923-6970. And you can also get Dominator Race Products from Romular Race Cars. There are other dealers across the USA, be it reputable or not.
Right.
Yeah. And one more shout out here to Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race, racing every Saturday night. Follow them on social media or oakshaderaceway.com. This weekend, a full program on tap: late model Sportsman, Dominator Superstocks, and the Compacts, plus the vintage American race cars.
Oh, it's their fault?
What? Oh, no, I was going to make a crack on the vintage American race cars and something about you, but I was going to be nice. So I let it go.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Cheap shots are...
gates open at 4, racing at 7:15 at Oakshade Raceway.
Really?
Yeah. Allow them a little extra time for qualifying, since they're qualifying you guys.
Yeah.
Late models there. Speaking of which, hot laps and qualifying starts at 6 at Oakshade. Also, shout out to Freeze Frame Photos, Ryan Miller Race Cars, Headhunters Barber Studio and Salon in Perrysburg. Our racing roundup from this past weekend, of course, Attica Raceway Park off for the affair. They're going to be off again tomorrow night. Limaland had an eventful night last Friday. Winning the invitational for the modifieds was Jerry Bowersock. This was the final night of competition out there at Limaland. Jared Horseman won the King of the Quarter Mile deal. In the NRA 360 sprints, Mike Keegan won the invitational. And Jared Horseman, again, King of the Quarter Mile. Thunderstocks, it was Craig Dipman winning the invitational. And he had some issues and was unable to do the King of the Quarter Mile. I talked to him earlier this week. He was not happy. He was unable to defend his King of the Quarter Mile title. But Gabe Mueller ended up winning that. So congratulations to him. He also picked up the championship out there in the Thunderstocks the week before.
They've been having a great season.
Yeah. Oakshade Raceway, Saturday night. Casey Noonan picked up the feature win there. He had to work for that one. Yeah. Then
there we go with the Noonan shirt.
Good
job, Casey.
Carter Murday picked up the win in the Sportsman. Colin Schilt found his way back to victory lane in the Dominator Superstock A-Main. Corey Gum won the Compact A-Main. Donovan Paskin won the Dominator Superstock B-Main. And Brandon Profit was our Compact B-Main winner. Fremont Speedway, of course, we just spoke to the winner, Craig Mintz there, the 410 feature event. Second feature win in a row at Fremont Speedway. Paul Weaver picked up yet another 305 feature win. Jeff Babcock picked up his second in a row dirt truck feature win. So have you heard anything from RJ, our guest last week, how he's doing?
He had a brief stint in the emergency room, but he's back out.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. It was time to have some stitches removed, and they had some issues. So he went to the ER. They got everything done that needed to be done, and he was at our barn yesterday with his girlfriend and feeding the horses. So,
okay.
You were talking about Fremont. Ben Clapp says he's dying to see the Fremont truck points. I'll bet you are, Ben. And any idea where they're at?
I have to reach out to Brian, this guy, see if he's got access to them. Sandusky Speedway was off last weekend. Toledo Speedway hosting the Raleigh Beal Classic Silver Crown race. Cody Swanson picked up the win. It was he actually, if I recall correctly, that was his 6th win at Toledo Speedway, which eclipses Raleigh Beal's 5 wins at Toledo Speedway. Maybe it'll be renamed the Cody Swanson Classic. I don't know. Probably not. Ron Allen picked up the late model Sportsman win. Kyle Metapetigan won the factory stocks.
Congratulations again, Scott.
And our other guest last week, Taylor Ferns, was involved in an incident with Justin Grant, and she ended up in the wall, prematurely ending her race. So,
Scott, Dean Henry says that Cole Macedo will not be at Fremont this weekend because he's in Knoxville.
Really? Well, I'm sure Craig Mintz will be thrilled by that.
That could tighten things up.
That could, yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised by that, Dean. Okay.
But it is Knoxville.
It is Knoxville, yeah. Well, and the weekend weather pit stop forecast, I don't know if that might have anything to do with it.
Why, is it supposed to rain in Knoxville?
Stick around for that. We'll find out. Montpelier Motor Speedway on Saturday, Derek Losh won the modified feature. Heisman Skeens was the winner in the Hornets. Andrew Short, street stock feature winner, and James Headley won the super stocks. World of Outlaw Case Construction late model action. The USA Nationals at Cedar Lake Speedway in Wisconsin last weekend, I should say. Last Thursday, Mike Marlar picked up the win. Friday night, Jonathan Davenport earned the pole. Jonathan Davenport won again on Saturday for his third consecutive USA Nationals win. We've been talking a lot about him.
I think people are getting kind of tired of Superman winning.
I was going to say, well, he's living up to the name, I guess.
Yeah.
World of Outlaw NASA Energy Drink Sprint Car action. Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 Friday night. Carson Macedo picked up the win in the night before the Ironman. And then Saturday, Brad Sweets won the Ironman 55. Knoxville Raceway. Yeah, that's going on. Knoxville Nationals started actually last night. Logan Schuchart won night one. So, and then that goes on through Saturday out there. ARCA action this past weekend. Nick Sanchez picked up the win in the Henry Ford Health 200 at Michigan International Speedway. The NTT IndyCar Series was at Nashville, racing on the streets there. Scott Dixon picked up the win in the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. Cup action for NASCAR Series, Kevin Harvick won the Firekeepers Casino 400 at Michigan International Speedway. I think I was there for his last win.
That was a fun race to watch.
It wasn't too bad, actually.
Yeah.
I did watch that one. And then Saturday, Ty Gibbs won the New Holland 250 at Michigan International Speedway. A couple other notes here. Woodtick, big event going on up at Merritt Speedway in Michigan. Wednesday, they got rained out. Thursday, Rich Dawson picked up a win. Jeep Van Warmer and Devin Moran won. Friday night, Eric Spangler won the Saturday's finale there with Devin Moran second, Ryan Unzicker third, Colin Shipley finishing 14th, and Ryan Missler 17th, BJ Gregory 23rd. So
in a race dominated normally by Longhorn chassis and Rocket chassis, Spanky was there in a Masterbuilt. Those folks had to be over the moon.
How come it wasn't a proven chassis? Or
he never asked.
Oh, well.
Dean Henry says that Cole Macedo ran 5th in last year's.
Oh, last night.
So
apparently he's already in Knoxville. So okay.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of racing news here before we get to tonight's How Many and a chance to win Big D's Pizza. First, got to mention Freeze Frame Photos. Give them a call for all your racing photo needs, or walk up to them if they're at a track that you happen to be at. Saturday nights at Oakshade, they're always there. Action shots to victory lane shots, and then now is the time, as we mentioned last week, to start working on that custom 2023 race calendar. You can pick out I think it's like 13 pictures, because you get January through January.
Oh, all right.
And there might be a back cover. I don't remember. So there might be 14 pictures. I'll have to talk to Charlie. There's a lot of pictures. You choose what pictures you want, what month you want. You can create your own custom calendar. You got our favorite race car driver. Go pick out some of your favorite pictures from them, and Freeze Frame will put together a custom calendar for you for next year. Pretty cool deal. Give Charlie a call, 419. Don't call Ron. 419-476-9978. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments frozen in time. You can also call Ron, I guess, 734-856-7223 for race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, transmissions, sending units, things.
Yeah, temperature sending units, fuel pressure sending units.
That'd be parts, right?
Making all those lights blink on and off.
Yeah. Don't just ground them straight to the chassis, because then they're just on all the time.
That doesn't work.
Couple of stories here during the North-South weekend at Florence Speedway this weekend. The late model Hall of Fame ceremony is going to be held, and somebody that I know, and I believe you probably know, is going to be inducted.
Really?
Not a driver.
Really?
Yeah. Any guesses?
Well, no.
Would you like me to tell you?
Yes.
Former Oakshade Raceway announcer and former Eldora announcer, former Millstream Speedway announcer, Toledo Speedway announcer.
Mr. Microphone?
And, current World of Outlaw announcer, Rick Eshelman.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And well-deserved.
Absolutely. So congratulations to Rick Eshelman He's going to be enshrined into the late model Hall of Fame there. Kurt Busch is still not cleared to race this weekend. The Cup Series is going to be at Richmond, which means he's going to be sitting out his fourth consecutive race due to that concussion injury that he suffered during, I think it was qualifying at Pocono a few weeks back. So
Ty will still be in the car.
Ty Gibbs will be filling in once again. North Wilkesboro Speedway had to cancel one of its racetrack revival weekends. That's not this weekend, but the following weekend, August 19th and 20th, and they cite supply chain issues as to the reason for having to cancel that event.
Hot dog shortage?
I don't know exactly, but the Jag CRA All-Star Tour and the Cars Pro Late Model Tour were scheduled for that weekend. So there will be no racing that weekend. There is racing scheduled this weekend and again on August 30th and 31st. I believe that is the last pavement one, if I remember correctly, before they rip out the pavement and they do some dirt shows later this fall. Before then, they're going to repave the track.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting stuff there. SRX champion and former NTT IndyCar Series driver Marco Andretti is going to make his NASCAR debut coming up in the Xfinity Series at the Charlotte Roval on October 8th. Yes. It's a busy day for you, October 8th.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting. I think he'll do all right. He held his own pretty well in the SRX series.
Right.
So, and those are all ovals. They don't do any road courses. I think he'll do all right. That's all the racing news that I have. How about we get to our how many? Last week's how many was how many USAC Silver Crown competitors will be at Toledo this past Saturday, and the number of the winning car added together.
Can you repeat that?
How many USAC Silver Crown cars at Toledo Speedway on Saturday, this past weekend, plus the number on the winning car?
Oh, yeah.
So that total came out to 23.
Ooh.
22 cars and number one. So you were closest because I guessed
you
55.
Shot for
I was pulling for Taylor. 55 plus. I was in the 70s, I think, and you picked. Let's see, 40. You had 40, so you were closest. And our listener winner was Doug Frost, who picked 26.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, not too far off. So congratulations to Doug Frost. You have 30 days to claim your free pizza from Big D's. Just get a hold of Dean or Big D's or me, and we'll hook you up with Dean. So this week's how many and a chance to win a Big D's pizza is the Boss non-wing sprints are going to be at Fremont this weekend.
Ooh, okay.
Among other things. So how many Boss non-wing sprints will be checked in at Fremont on Saturday night, plus the number of compacts that are checked in at Oakshade also on Saturday night, which has been a ridiculous amount the past
could be huge
month or so. And just spoiler alert, just to help people out, there's been averaging about 40 compacts at Oakshade over the last few weeks. So, given that, and you won, well, first, if you want that chance to win the Big D's Pizza, put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or our YouTube Live. You have until 4 o'clock on Saturday to do so. So if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, if you're not listening to us live, you can find this our video on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hammerdown Racing Report, and put your guess in. As long as before 4 o'clock, you will be entered to win. Again, it's how many Boss non-wing sprints and number of compacts. Boss non-wing sprints at Fremont, compacts at Oakshade on Saturday night. And I see a lot of numbers coming up there. There's one that I don't see, which is good, because I don't want to see that number because it has to do with the R word. So, and it's checked in. I'm saying checked in. So should the event not finish, that doesn't matter. It's how many gets checked in. Yeah.
Signed at the pit shop.
Yeah, and I'll use my race pass. So, there's one I see that is a little pessimistic there. I don't know that that's going to happen. So there you go. One number in the guess of those two added up, or in the comments, those two added up. Whoever's closest will win that Big D's Pizza. If we have a tie, we'll spin the Big D's Pizza wheel. So what do you got?
I'm going to ignore the pessimistic side of this, and I'm going with 52.
52. Well, that would mean that you don't think there's going to be very many Boss Sprints then?
Possibly.
Or not many compacts. 52, huh? Well, I'm going to go with 53 because that's the...
Oh, you're killing me.
That's the easy way to go on that one.
Good Lord.
And I'm pretty confident in my 53 there. So, I would if I had to guess first, I probably would have gone with 59 or 60. So, we'll find out who wins next week on the show. This weekend's Big D's Pizza racing menu, Friday night, Toledo Speedway back in action 2 weeks in a row.
Ooh,
it's crazy.
Still my heart.
It's R&M Recycling school bus figure eight night featuring late model sportsmen, regular figure eights, boat figure eights, flagpole race, and of course the school bus figure eights. Gates open at 5 o'clock, racing at 7 p.m. Adult general admissions $20 for that show. Friday night, the 12th of August. They do have a rain date for Sunday, and that would start at 6 p.m., but I am 99.9999% that they're going to be just fine tomorrow night. Weather should be great, actually. Mm-hmm. Attica Raceway Park is off again due to the fair. Oakshade Raceway on Saturday night. Mentioned this earlier. Late model sportsman, Dominator, Superstocks, Compacts, and the Vintage American Race Cars. They put on quite a good little show there. They get last year. They were getting pretty.
Those guys are racy.
Pretty serious. They're not afraid to bend some stuff up on those old cars where they can't get parts anymore.
When those cars were made, you built your own stuff anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure Ron Miller Race Cars could probably fabricate it, right?
There's a good possibility.
Okay. Gates open at 4 at Oakshade, racing at 7. General admission $14. Fremont Speedway in action. It's Plaza Lanes Cameo Pizza Night. Fast 410 sprints, the Boss non-wing sprints, dirt trucks, all in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission $18 there at Fremont. Flat Rock Speedway back to Saturday night. It's going to be autograph night with the Outlaw Super Late Models, figure eights, street stocks. Gates open at 4:30, racing at 7 o'clock. General admission is $15. Sandusky Speedway. Back in action with the Josh Neff Memorial, featuring the Ohio Wheelman Series, Pure Stocks, Renegades, and Beginner Stocks. Gates open at 4 p.m., racing at 7. $15 general admission there at Sandusky Speedway. And Montpelier Motor Speedway is hosting the Top Dog Face-Off number 3. Modified Super Stocks, Street Stocks, Hornets, Dirt Trucks. That's the Dirt Track Truck Series. Dirt Trucks. Gates open at 4, racing at 7:22 at Montpelier Motor Speedway. General admission $15 there as well. And before we get to our other series action, we do have the weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman. So you want to listen to this? Here you go.
Here is your WTOL 11 weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Let's start off Friday at Toledo Speedway. Looks fantastic for the school bus races. 7 p.m. start time. Skies will be sunny. Temperatures very comfortable. Low humidity. Saturday is where it gets more interesting. We got a system diving in from the north. It's going to spread pretty widespread rain showers for any of those races. Oakshade, Fremont, Flat Rock, Sandusky, and Montpelier. Scattered rain showers for those 7 p.m. start times going to be possible here. So it'll be tricky for you for any of those races later Saturday. For WTOL 11, I'm meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Have that WTOL 11 weather app on standby. We'll keep you updated as we get closer.
That sounds an awful lot like towing practice, Scott.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those nights where I'm glad I'm not a promoter because it sounds like the rain's not coming until later in the day, and yeah, like you said, tow out there, maybe unload and then load back up possibly. Maybe it'll miss. Who knows? it could be spotty.
Just in time to have one of Oakshade's famous brats.
Sure. I prefer the hot dogs.
I do too.
We need to have I talked to Pam about doing another hot dog race too, and she's for it.
All right.
She's kind of leaving it up to us, really, as far as what class we do. That's what we should do. How about we do a Twitter poll as to what class we should do the hot dog race for the next one? It probably won't be till September. I don't actually have a date yet, but because we did super stocks this last time, and maybe the compacts might be fun, but I don't know that the late model guys would be for it, and I'll have to talk to Nick Loy to see if he'd be interested in sponsoring it again.
Late models, on a quick takeoff could be an issue.
Sportsman?
Same transmission.
Okay. But they might be more open to it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll post a Twitter poll right after the show. At Hammer Report is our Twitter handle. So if you don't follow us on there, make sure to do that. And we'll leave that poll open for maybe a couple weeks.
All right.
Just coming up with ideas on the go there. Other series in action this weekend, Knoxville Nationals continue at Knoxville Raceway in Iowa tonight through Saturday for the World of Outlaws. The sprint cars, that is. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, of course, the 40th annual Sunoco North-South 100 weekend. Starts tonight through Saturday night at Fremont Speedway. NASCAR Cup Series is at Federated Auto Parts, or is at Richmond Raceway for the Federated Auto Parts 400. That's going to be at 3 o'clock Sunday on USA Network. And NASCAR Truck Series in action also at Richmond Raceway for the Worldwide Express 250. Oh, Worldwide Express 250 for Carrier Appreciation.
Oh, okay.
Get the whole title in there. That'll be at 8 o'clock on Saturday night, also on USA Network. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, contributors Matt Swander, John Young, Doug Dock, Bob Stazak. No Hammer Down hotline this week, other than we're still getting
spam
calls, yeah. So we may be shutting that down. If we don't get a call before the end of this month, we'll shut that down. So if you want to call, leave us your opinion. Maybe you want to call and let us know which class should do the hot dog race.
Yeah.
There you go. 419.
We could count that, couldn't we?
Yeah. 419-318-3081. 419-318-3081. You can also text it. If you don't like your voice, you don't want to hear your voice back on the show, feel free to text that number. We'll read the text back. So it's 419-318-3081. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and of course check out HammerdownRacingReport.com for all that information, shows, sponsor information. We got apparel too, the stores on there, yeah. Make sure to rate and review us, share us with your friends. Again, thanks for all those great reviews on Apple Podcasts.
About time.
Yeah. Very, we appreciate that. That helps us out a lot. Thanks to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway, Big D's Pizza, Ryan Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Dominator Race Products, Headhunters, Barber Studio and Salon. And thanks again to this week's guest, Craig Mintz. We'll see you back next week, Thursday.
I need to say hi back to Barb Ganser.
Oh, hi, Barb. Bye, Barb. See you next week.
Yeah.
Go support your local racetrack this weekend, even if it does rain. Bring an umbrella.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.